Hey guys, it's Kevin with Spirit of Twilight, and I'm still getting set up. I do apologize for that. Today we're going to be wrapping a multicolored tourmaline stone, and you can see it better on the thumbnail than what you can here, but we're going to be wrapping kind of like an Elven type of wrap, and we're going to get started with that right now. Again, I'm running a little delayed, and I apologize. So I'm starting off with a square wire, which is 20 gauge. And we're going to be wrapping this little tiny stone, but I want to add some intricate design to it. So I'm going to first create my cage. It's going to be quite small, about there. And what I want to do is just bend these wires straight up. Okay, and this is the dead soft wire that I'm using. I always use dead soft because you can go and manipulate the wire for it to become a little harder if you need to do so. Alright, so this is basically our basic cage in general. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to wrap the bail, and I'm just going to make sure this is even. Everything is staying in order and square like it's supposed to. Okay, perfect. Alright, so let's go ahead and take some 28 gauge. How many others really quick? Nope, this is up. Okay, good. Alright, so we're going to use 28 gauge round wire. And this is just to make the bail. And this is a little different from what I normally start off with. I usually end up making the back sides to the pendant first, but I'm not doing that this time. This is another process that I saw on another YouTube video that I kind of wanted to try. So we'll see how this goes. Let me fix this really quick. So it's a live chat so I can see you guys if you have a question or anything as we're going along. And so I'm going to wrap one wire a few times. Like so. I'm going to push that together. And we're just going to wrap around our bail. I'm probably going to use the square ladder technique that I like so much. So we'll go ahead and do that. It's so easy and it's very simple, very modern. You just make a half turn and go between your two wires and repeat. I don't want to add too much. to this design as of yet because I'm going to be doing some more weaves throughout the whole pendant. And I am pulling this wire, the wrap wire, a little hard because I want to make sure this stays together as the bail. And that's a good thing about using dead soft wire is when you're constructing, you can manipulate the wire according to how you want your weave to be constructed. Now, an Elven pendant or Elven design is formed based off an exaggeration of weaves. So there's going to be weaves that extend beyond the pendant, the weaves that stick below the pendant, above the pendant, on the inside, on the outside. So this is going to be a fun design that we're going to be doing. But again, this is more of a microscopic or smaller type of design, and that can be more difficult because using more wires that are a lot smaller than standard wires. So I'm just going to keep wrapping this. Very carefully, because I am using a 28 gauge, and a 28 gauge is like almost like a thread. It's so small. And it can tear, it can kink. But I like 28 gauge because it allows you to get that very intricate looking design that can be either overexposed or underexposed depending on the weave that you're doing. So also, I have decided that I would prefer to do more live videos than I am recording, simply because live videos do give all of you guys an opportunity to see things happen as they do, which mistakes can be made. Trust me, I made plenty of them, but you can see how I correct those mistakes or work beyond it. Okay, so this is pretty much done. So I'm just going to finish off this wire really fast by wrapping it a few times. But this is only a very small percentage of what I'm going to be doing today. Take this and wrap it. So this goes close to inside the cage. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my flat plier wires, the flat pliers on my wire, and just smooth it out so everything stays intact as it's supposed to. Okay, so I'm going to bend this forward slightly. like so. I'm going to throw my design on the table. I'm going to take this and we're going to make the bail. So I'm just going to loop this around to the back side, like so. And that creates the actual bail itself. Next, I'm going to take these 2 wires from our base and just wrap them around like so to attach our bail to our actual design itself, or a skeleton if you would. That's what I like to call it. Move this in and cut this short. Make sure that ends on the inside of the pendant as well. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. That's short. I'm just going to wrap that in. Make sure that stays in as well. There we go. Okay, so now we have everything positioned for the skeleton of our pendant so far, but now I need to create something to hold the stone in place. Excuse me, with some water. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take some half round wire, and this is probably probably a 16. So you know what, that might be a little bit too thick. I have an 18 somewhere. But 18, I'll have a 22. Let's go with the 18. Okay, so we'll take the 18 gauge wire. And this is the last bit of it, so let me just unravel everything. I have more 18, I just haven't opened it yet. Just got an order in last week. We'll take this and we're just going to smooth it out. There we go. And we'll do the same to the other side. Okay, so what I'm going to need here is enough wire to cross over the backing and also to create a point where they meet in the center so everything sits as it should for the pendant in the backing so the stone doesn't slip out. So I'm going to cut here. I'm probably looking at maybe an inch and a half at the most. I'm going to make another one the same size. That's the side, and then what I need to do is attach these together. So you want to have the flat side facing one way, and you want to have the round side facing the other way. The flat side is going to go towards the back, and the round side will be wrapped around the actual skeleton or frame. So what I need to do is hold this steady. Gonna make sure both flat sides are facing one way. Make sure they're aligned. Then I'm going to take that little itty bit of 28 gauge wire that I had left over. Oops, no, I'm not. That's too short. All right. 25th gauge, where are you? There we go, 25th gauge. Yeah, we're taking some 25th gauge round wire. I'm going to cut maybe 2 inches off of that. Mind you, if I'm not centered into the frame, although should be, I have a cat sleeping next to me. And he's a very stubborn little kitty. He doesn't like to move and doesn't like to leave my side. So he's a good boy. He's just a little kind of set in his ways, if you would. Alright, so I'm going to take these 2 wires side by side, flat side facing one way, round side facing the other. And I'm just going to go ahead and merge these 2 wires together in the center. Again, I'm going to make sure they lay flat, and they are not. There we go. Okay, so that looks good. What we're going to do is make sure this is centered the best way possible. We're going to use right in the middle. We're going to cut our ends off. Funny thing was, I was just talking to someone. Oh, Travis, hello. I was just talking to one of my friends online, and he was looking for a red Tourmaline. Now, I do have some Tourmaline on order from one of my suppliers. I actually have 2 suppliers now. One of them is online, but he is also in the same state. And then the other one is one that I could drive to. But I have a red Tourmaline coming. But I had this one also available, and I really liked it because it's multicolor, as you can see in the thumbnail. And again, I tried to show you on the screen. It didn't work out that way, but if you want to take a look again. Multicolor. It's not a watermelon Tourmaline. At least I don't think it is. But it is a very nice Tourmaline. Very pretty. Has red, purple, and green, so it's really nice. Okay. So now that we have our backing ready to go, should we put this on the backing side? Actually, let me take a look at this. Looks like there's a wire sticking out. That's not good. Yeah. And that is from the weave, actually, so I can cut that short. That's fine. Okay. So now I have the backing in place. The bail is sitting in place where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to take this and put it on the back side of the pendant to secure everything the way it's supposed to be. And I need to hold this in the center. And I need to wrap my wires as I hold this. So this is going to be a little bit difficult to do. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to wrap it around. Everything tight and secure. And I'm going to wrap this one around too. Now this one doesn't look like it needs to be trimmed. This one, however, is going to need it. Let me turn up my light just a little bit. There we go. I don't know if you can see better, but I can see better. And I don't know, I don't have my cloth that I usually have down here. I'm going to do this because the black made my hands look really pale. There we go. Okay, so that's centered pretty well. Let's do the same thing to the top. Now also, I have had a request on X, Twitter, Twix, whatever you want to call it, that I start doing book reviews again. So I might start doing that. I just don't know how many people will be interested in it. Because it appears that the only book that's getting a lot of traction are the ones by Matt Oren and also by is it L. Donnelly? I can't remember. The one who wrote the book of demonology. And that one just keeps getting looked at like crazy on my YouTube channel, which is appreciated. I was just very surprised because I know a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but I know a few people who actually study demonology and work with demons based off their personal practice. Okay, there we go. So there's our backing to our stone. So our stone's going to sit right on the backing. And then what I like to do also is put I was gonna say put a wire across, but I don't think I need to. All right, let's just start designing because everything that I do on here is gonna hold the stone in place anyway. So let's get started. And again, I have my cat next to me, and he is not budging. A little water for the voice. All right, so let's do a weave starting at the bottom here. We're gonna work our way up over to the top of the bale and make this very intricate, making it look very delicate. And again, this is a smaller type of pendant that I'm working on, so this is really difficult. Plus, this style I've never done before, so expect me to have a few oopsies here and then while I'm actually doing this. Okay, so let's take some more 18 gauge wire. This is half round sterling silver. And again, if you ever want to know where I purchased my silver or my wire, it is at riogrande.com, and they are not cheap, but they are very, very good at taking care of their clients, taking care of their customers, and really giving a damn about people in general, plus the environment, because their entire facility is it's ran off of the power of the sun, which I find to be very nice and very much appreciated. Okay, so now that we've got this wire cut, wrap this up really quick. And we're going to take a look. This is probably 6 to 7 inches of wire that I'm working with. And I'm working with 2 strands, as you can very well see. And I'm going to do another weave, a very small weave, because of how small our pendant's going to be. So let's take that 28 gauge wire again. Need to find it. Oh, that was the end of my 18 gauge. Hold on 1 second. 28, there it is. So this time I'm probably going to pull a good 2 feet, maybe even 2.5. Because this portion of video that you're watching is going to be quite extensive because of how many different weaves I'm actually putting into the design itself. Alright, let's go ahead and get this wrapped on. Nice and tight. The strand out, and I know my cat is going to wake up and play with the end, so be very careful with that. Okay, and again, this is the round side facing up, flat side is facing the bottom. Take your second wire, place it alongside next to the other wire, and you want to give yourself a little leeway so you can wrap your wire around your base wire. So we're just going to wrap this. I'm going to do one time. I want to make it very different looking. So I'm going to wrap this 5 times. Oops. There we go. That's wrapped 5 times and then once around both wires. Like so. And we're going to continue this pattern. Wrapping 5 singular, 1 around both. And this is not the same pattern as the person that I saw use. This is different. And that's what I like to do. If I see someone else designing something and I really like it, I won't copy them entirely. I'll take it and make it my own. Now, you know what? I am going to need my clamp. My hand is starting to hurt like crazy. So give me just a second. Get that. And unfortunately, I'm working over my kitty. And my clamp is not in there. Okay, oh, it's right there. Okay. Sorry, I had to move a lot of stuff. I have a cart that I use for all of my wires and all of my beads, so on and so forth. I had to get to it over the cat. Okay. So I'm going to take these wires, I'm going to put them inside. This is actually a ring clamp. Inside the ring clamp, we're going to push that down so the wires can't move. And this is going to alleviate a lot of pain on my hand. So, starting again, we already went 1 over both, so we're just going to wrap 5 times. Four and 5. And again, these wires are dead soft. They're not half hard, so they are very flimsy. Want to be careful when you're wrapping, or you can go ahead and strengthen the wire by using nylon tip pliers and taking them and bending them. Let's wait. I didn't do that, and I'm holding on for dear life because I don't want the wires to come out. But they will actually come out if you don't hold onto them while doing that or doing it before you start your weave. There's 3, 4, 5. We're gonna go around both, and I'm getting a kink. I gotta stop for a second. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this particular weave that I'm working on, or this pendant I should say that I'm working on, is probably going to take me a good hour and a half, 2 hours to complete. But you can see the design of the actual weave coming through. And that's what's most important, is to actually see the progress of your weave. That way, in case if there is a mistake made, you can just go back and correct it. 4, and there's 5. Again, just wrapping around. Okay, now this is getting a little long, so I'm going to open my clamp. I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to stick it all the way down to where I'm working. So not only is that going to flatten my wires, but it's going to help from these wires from kind of dancing around on me, if you would. So, and also it helps in the process of getting things done a little bit quicker. 3, 4, and 5. Now I noticed that my wires are starting to crawl under each other, so let's go ahead and put that out really fast. Just keep them in order. 3, 4, and 5. And then once around. And just want to keep doing this until you reach the desired length that you want. Three, 4, 5. And I apologize if you didn't see my link on social media. Unfortunately, what has happened is my webcam stopped because the computer went to standby mode and I didn't catch it, so I had to restart and reschedule this whole process on YouTube, which takes a minute, but I already knew what I was looking to type, so no big deal. 5. Let's run once. I'm gonna do 5 more, and I'm gonna stop. I want to see where I am. 4, 5. Okay. I'm gonna take this out of my clamp. Okay, I want to stop there. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna take this piece and I'm going to attach it to the actual pendant. No. And then what I want to do is I want to create a little bump in the bottom to exaggerate the pendant in general. And I'm just going to move this up and around like so. So this is exactly where I want it to be. Take these 2 wires and I'm going to chop those off and secure them in place. And you want to make sure that no wires are sticking out, because if you wear this, if you gift it, if you sell it, you want to be sure that you, your friend, your family, or your clients are safe from any type of kinks or jewelry malfunctions. Okay, so I've started this from the bottom and I'm working my way up, but what I'm doing next is I'm actually going to separate these and change my weave in the middle of the process. And why I'm doing that is because I want to create more closure for the actual stone. So I'm going to change this into a figure 8 weave. So I'm going to end this one with one going over both wires just to pull them together. Then I'm going to separate these. I'm just going to let this fly a little bit. Okay, so I wrap 1, 2, 3. Now, the top wire is going to need more leeway than the bottom wire. So you're going to have to wrap the top wire more times than you are the bottom in order to create kind of a path for everything. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 on the upper wire. And if you don't want to do that, you can create a zigzag form, which is also quite nice. Everything down into place. 1, 2, 3. Go back and underneath. 1, 2, 3. Move some of the stuff out of the way. It's like my camera keeps focusing on things other than what I'm doing. Push that down. Go up and under. This you want to make sure is pretty tight. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a not so great looking weave. 1, 2, 3. Back to the top. 1, 2, 3. And as you can also see, I'm not adding tension to the wires in between, but I'm adding tension to the wires once I skip over and create my first coil. Go. 2, 3. Back over. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see how far we are. Okay, we're doing pretty well. Not a little bit. I think I'm going to stop here. I'm going to go through the bale with my top wire. Pull that through. Okay. I'm just going to take this wire. I'm just going to keep wrapping it. So I pretty much run out of wire to wrap. Either base wire or wrapping wire. Well, this is just a very simple wrap that I'm doing. Let's kind of speed this up. I'm trying to get this done so I can create the other portion of the pendant. You guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, that's not long enough yet. Let's stay intact. Not quite there yet. Okay, we're pretty much there. Okay. I'm just going to move this up. I'll this a couple more times. Just make sure it reaches all the way to the bottom. There we go. Okay. So now we've got this all the way to the bottom, wrapped the way I wanted to. And snip that off. Push everything into place so it lays nice and flat. We'll take this. Just the bottom of the little divot that I made. So. Okay, let's test our stone. Okay, we're good. There's plenty of room around the stone. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to wrap it around the bale. Then I'm going to add this in to the design. So. I'm going to go underneath our other wires. Make sure that gets added in place. Okay. So I'm going to create a little overlap just to give some interest to the design. Pull that through, make sure it's staying the way it's supposed to. Perfect. Okay. We're still good. Okay, so now I want to make another weave similar to this, but I want to go from the top to the bottom. But I'm going to leave these two sitting here in case I want to use them a little bit later as a part of my design. I'm going to leave this as is. And I just need to answer a text really quick. It's my husband. Alright. And I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Yeah. I'm going to take a break for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, sorry, drink. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue doing what we were doing. Excuse me. All right. So again, I'm going to leave these two as is. Okay. I just happened to notice that there is a little bit of a kink here, so let me fix that. Yeah. Hold on a bit. Okay. So next what I'm going to do is, again, I want to create that same leeway or path on the other side of the pendant. Separate these a little bit. Okay. Okay. So I want to create the same type of look on this side as I did this side. I'm just going to separate these like they're supposed to be and create that same design over here. So I'm going to take two more pieces of the 18 gauge. And I've realized I don't need them that long. It's probably 6 inches at the most. Okay. Fill that up again. And do the same thing that we did before. So this is going to be a repeat of the same pattern as what I just did. Actually, I might do a little bit different. We'll see. These and make them harder. Go. Okay, so I'm repeating pretty much the same design as what I did over here, but I'm doing it on the other side in the opposite direction. So everything is just the way it's supposed to be. Okay. So this is a little too short. So I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to grab another 28 gauge. This time we use about 2 feet. Take our tail, wrap this around 3 times. So let's just jump right into the weave itself. So let's start with 5. We'll cross over. Again, 5 more. There's out of the way. And the 28 gauge that I'm using is actually a round. It's not a half round. And I see I'm out of the frame, and the cat actually moves. Excuse me, kitty. One, two. Alright, so again, I'm just repeating what I just did on the other side. My cat is all snugged up against me. Not that I mind. He's a good boy. Uh, it's over. Two, three, four, five. And some people who design, they count how many um count how many coils they do. I'm pretty much a length person. I go by the length because I don't want to replicate a lot of my jewelry. And I was talking to a friend earlier, and I was mentioning to him that I ordered some more colored tourmalines. I just love these colored tourmalines. I think they're absolutely beautiful. So I have more coming, probably within the next few days. I should have them by the end of the week, I hope. Oops. Got stuck in something. The camera. Look at that. How about that? Where along am I? I think I need to stop and start doing the other weave. We'll just set this off. 3, 4, 5. I'm not creating that little lip like I did down here. Pull these in. And I just realized my husband's on his way home and I didn't pull anything out for dinner. Oh, poop. Sorry, Will. And in case if you don't know, Will also has a YouTube channel, a D-Geek Will. And he does gaming on Twitch, he does gaming on YouTube, he does movie reviews, he does show reviews. A lot of fun. So if you get a chance, go see him on his channel as well. Okay, so I need to put this back wire. One does not want to cooperate. There we go. And in case if you're wondering because of the holidays coming up, I know I mentioned this in my other video, but I do have a sale on my website right now, 20%, 25% off all pendants until the 12th of this month. Then I have to stop because I have a show that I'm doing here locally in my state. And then maybe I'll run another sale thereafter. Depends on how things are going at that point. Okay, so I've got this attached to the back. I'm going to do, let's do a little bit of a lip. Just a small one on the side. So let's make sure that is sitting in there properly because for some reason it doesn't feel like it's very secure. Anyway. Alright. So at this point I'm going to start separating these. And creating that fan out using the circle 8 just like I did before. And as you can see, this is actually mirroring the other side, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to pull these apart, start our circle 8 weave. Same way as before. 2, 3. Make sure those are nice and tight. Cross over, underneath. 1, 2, 3. And I would drop these, but right now I'm kind of in a hole. And this needs to be perfect mode. Two, 3. Cross over. 1, 2. 3. Pull it out. Really starting to get on my nerves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see how far we are along. Almost there. Okay, let's check it again. That looks pretty good. Do it on the bottom. Maybe I will. Two, three. Okay. Now let's see where we are. Looks pretty good. Go through the bottom like this. This one, undo the same. Okay. That's much better what I was looking for. I have this little piece here, so let's create a little something with it. I'm gonna wrap these around. So I'm creating a bigger spiral than if I was using a single wire. Just not up. Alright, so I'm going to then write these. That's different. I like that. There's not much of this wire left, so I'm just gonna end it. That's good. Let's cut that off. I'm gonna cross over this one. I'm gonna wrap these around the back so they stay together a little bit better. Here we go. I'm just gonna pull that tight. I'm gonna snip that inside the bale. This is definitely different compared to the other person's wrap that they did. So while we're doing this, let's take a look at our stone one more time. Pretty good. We'll just show the best side of the stone. There we go. I also noticed this is sticking out. This for the bottom too. Underneath. Okay. Okay. So our stone is not yet set. That's what we're going to do next. So I'm going to take this wire, going in between the crosses on the back and through to the front. That's steady. And I'm going to create a spiral. Tight it first, let it cascade out. Go. And this is going to help keep the stone in place. Let's take the spiral and put it to the back. Okay. And pull that through. And I'm going to attach that to an ending. Like so. So now what we need to do is lift our spiral up a little bit. Put our stone back in the way that we want it. And that is sitting on top of the stone. Yeah. So next, I have these other two pieces that I haven't touched yet. This one, I'm going to go through other X on the bottom. Pull that through. And I'm going to create another spiral down here. This to the back. Pull through, holding your spiral in place. I'm going to take this a second time, since I have the extra wire, and just feed it through under the stone. Like so. Now our stone right now is soft set. It's not set completely. I'm just gonna tuck this around the base wire. Go. Okay. So now I still have this wire, which I'm gonna lay next to the other. And I'm going to make it trace around the stone up to the other spiral. And then go behind the pendant. Like so. And that is helping the stone stay in place as well. but it's also not interrupting the flow of the weaves. Okay, so let's go through this one more time. I'm going to go through behind the previous wire. Holding it tight. Across the stone. And then down behind our other spiral. I could figure out where that wire came out. So here. Can't seem to get my pliers on it. There we go. I'm just going to tuck that in place safely and securely. There we go. Okay, so this is our Elven pendant. And mind you, it took a while to complete. Just an hour and 23 minutes. Which isn't terrible. I've gone longer on other pendants. But I really like this. It's small. It's discreet. Very pretty. See the stone. The different shades in there. And I'll see it on the back. That means there's a lot of light that's going to be shining through. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.